here from Witchcraft, and I had a couple of questions last time on our video that we did on the Alcohol Ink Pendants. We did these last year and they were very successful. People really loved that video, but what the biggest comment I had was that you couldn't see what I was doing because we didn't have the overhead at the time. So now I do, so I'm going to do just a quick recap and show you a little bit more from the overhead view so you get a little more detail. Now again, what we're going to need for this project are basically these are rocks, glass rocks that I picked up at Michael's. These are usually used in vases and things like that. You have to look through them because sometimes they do have little flaws in them. Most of that's going to be covered, but you might want to make sure that they're not cracked or anything. And I happen to like the ones that do not have the iridescence over them because it really distorts the alcohol ink behind it. So I've picked a couple of colors of alcohol ink. I also added a little gold, and we'll see how that works out. And I have, this is actually isopropyl alcohol, 91%. You can use the 70%. The 91 is a little bit better. I actually have it in a little bottle here. I've got it in a spray bottle here too. These little pads, they're puppy pads, but they work really well for collecting and keeping your surface clean. And then you don't have to worry about cleaning your table because this ink does not come off. The other thing you're going to need is a pouncer of some kind, and I've got the felt on it. And then this is aluminum foil tape. You can get it in the HVAC section of a Home Depot. This is the brand I have. There's lots of different brands you can get. So, rubber gloves, this stuff, it does come off your hands eventually, but not very quickly. So that's always good to have, and always some paper towels and things as well. Okay? So with no further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here we go. First thing we're going to do, we have our stone here that we're going to use. I like the ones that don't have the iridescence in the back, on the front. We're going to take our isopropyl, I have it in the spray bottle here, and spray that a little bit on here. And then we're going to clean our piece here. One of the reasons we're going to do that is because if you have any kind of like oils from your hands or anything like that on the stone, it's going to repel the alcohol ink. So you want to make sure that it's clean. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my pouncer and a piece of felt. These things are really great. A little Velcro go a long way. Okay, so now I'm going to use, this is a Bria Reese color. This is called, you know, I'm going to hold off on that one. I'm going to try and use all the same kind for now because that says watercolor ink. This is alcohol ink. This is a little different. This is flamingo. I want to get a nice red pink color going on in there. Just squirt some of it on there. This is called glacier. It's a nice bright blue. And I'm going to also put in, this is called Pool, and these are all Ranger inks. Okay, so I've got the colors, 3 colors on there, and here's my piece. So now all I'm going to do is start pouncing the colors on. And they do repel each other, as you can see. It's a real soft and subtle piece, and the more you pounce it, you'll see it's really kind of beating up there, and that's what you want it to do. Okay, so I got that going, and you let it dry for a minute, and you can go back in. I'm going to add also, now this is an alloy, but it's gold. I just want to get a little bit of brightness to that. As you can see, I just added a little bit. And we're going to see what that does to add to the piece. And all this rippling is actually what you're looking for in the piece. Okay? Yeah, I think this is working out pretty well. Okay. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the flamingo and the blue because they're kind of buried under my gold. I'm going to just keep going at it just a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Okay. I think I want some blue in this area. Blow it a little bit, get it drier. And you can just keep playing with this as long as you want. You kind of look on the other side just to see what it's looking like. But I think we're kind of getting there. Where I'm happy with it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let that dry. It doesn't take too long to dry, but you wanna make sure it is dry, because when you put the tape on, it's gonna shift around on you if you're not careful. So I have another piece here that I did a few minutes ago, and I am going to go ahead and put the tape on. For this part, I'm gonna give it a shot with the gloves. This tape is really sticky and it will stick to this tape. Your gloves will stick. So sometimes I end up taking off my gloves for this. And I think that's what's gonna happen. Okay, so we're gonna take off. I just cut a piece. It doesn't take much, only like an inch or two. Oh, come on. All right, so there's the tape. And we're just gonna plop it right down. Do not pull it off once you have it down, because it will pull the ink off. So what I'm gonna do right now is just burnish it along the sides. As you can see, I'm burnishing there. You can see how it's kind of going down. Okay, make sure, and if you get some wrinkles, that's okay, because you can just push them down. This is, once you get that backing off, you can tell this is definitely foil. Okay, so now I've got that piece. So now I'm taking, I have a sharp X-Acto knife, and I'm going to, it doesn't have to be perfect, so don't everybody get scared. I'm just gonna run this along the edge as close as I can get. You don't have to get too exact, because that rolled edge of the stone, if you can see there that it kind of rolls off, it's going to disguise a lot of those edges. And as you can see here, you don't really see them too much once you turn it over. Okay. Okay, so there's, pulled that off. Okay, now as you can see, it pulled up a little bit, but that's okay. Now I'm just using my fingernail to kind of just push it back down. Okay. And that silver really makes that bright. Now one thing else we're going to do here now, I'm taking my tissue again, my paper towel, and getting a little alcohol ink on it. And I'm just going to rub off the sides, because you don't want that alcohol ink to get on your shirt when you're wearing your pendant. So, okay. And you can't tell from the inside there. Okay. Now if you want to touch up some of these edges, you can go back in, just if you wanted to get a perfect circle or something like that. These gemstones are not perfect anyway. Okay, so there's our pendant. Okay. Now, I usually use an E600 glue when I put the bail on. The bail, depending on where you want it, I'm going to put it at the top here like this. and glue that bail on so you'll have a place for your chain. Okay? So you take your glue and put some of it, put just a dab of it on the end of the bail like this. And then you pop that on. Voila. And that usually takes, you know, a day or so to dry completely. But there you go. And there's your pendant. Hope this helps. Have a great day.